Qualities in workers that impress employers are a must-have for any company. Alright, good is trying to make it sound easier than it is by calling it a perfect match. While we'd all like to hear how much our efforts at work are appreciated and feel valued, that doesn't stop employers from conducting rigorous interviews, evaluations, and whatever else is necessary to ensure that their employees are giving their all. In the business world, this is a rare occurrence. Certain characteristics are held in higher esteem by superiors than others. Watch the whole video if you're curious about the full list of characteristics. The answers to these and other questions about navigating the workplace will be provided. In what ways can you make the most of your employment, and more importantly, what can you do to ensure that your employer remembers you fondly for years to come? So, step 1 is to actively pursue your goals. It's common knowledge that employers seek out employees who aren't afraid to get their hands dirty and try new things, despite the fact that doing so carries with it a certain amount of risk, and could ultimately end in failure. There's also the possibility of a large payoff. This is because confidence and output, in turn, give rise to new ideas. Pair up perfectly. A self-assured staff member is more likely to leave a positive impression on superiors, coworkers, and clients, and is thus more likely to effectively manage their workload. It's been scientifically proven that those who are supremely self-assured tend to listen more than they speak. They are always on the lookout for new ways to improve their abilities, know when and how to ask for assistance, and are able to quickly adapt to a new position. To top it all off, this is greatly appreciated by the upper management. Someone who brings in a lot of cash will always have their undying affection. Smarts and enthusiasm come in at number 2. In addition to its usefulness in the professional sphere, this is a combination that can be put to use in other spheres as well. You know the old adage, if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. But isn't that just smarts? In all seriousness though, being intelligent means that you can get things done with minimal guidance from higher ups. This is the perfect situation for superiors. Everyone would rather not have to constantly put out minor fires that could have been prevented had they hired a competent person in the first place. Third, aim high and set yourself up for success. Employers frequently evaluate workers based on their prior achievements and failures. How you respond to challenges in the workplace is a good indicator of whether or not you are progressing in your career. A company's meteoric rise to success can be traced to employees with such a strong sense of initiative and drive. To achieve this goal, one must continually work to improve oneself. Aspiration and hard work are the germs from which great ideas emerge. What are you willing to sacrifice for the company's success? A leader seeks an employee who shares their passion for the company's mission. In addition to being reliable employees, they are also romantically interested, professionally ambitious, and personally motivated. A dedicated worker enjoys their work, has a positive outlook on their workload, and is, above all, completely adaptable in their roles. Even though you've worked hard to learn your job, there are still things you don't understand. What really matters is your willingness to study, put in the time and effort required, and acquire the knowledge and abilities you'll need to succeed. Be independent as a fourth option. Don't get me wrong, it's annoying when you have to spend time teaching someone new information that they should already be familiar with. To learn and develop, questions are crucial. However, we shouldn't cross the line into handholding. Any good manager or supervisor has plenty on their plate between managing their own workload and that of their staff. That's why it completely defeats the purpose of having an employee when he has to halt his day to explain everything. Reliability means that you have no doubt that the job will be done, and on top of that, that it will be done in the best way possible, which is exactly what the boss wants when he assigns work. Being dependable entails showing up to work on time, meeting or beating deadlines, completing assignments accurately and thoroughly, and showing a willingness to take on additional responsibilities. Positive thinking is the fifth item on the list. Employees who come into the office full of life and enthusiasm are more productive than those who mope about the amount of work they have or complain about the weather. That's a proven fact in the scientific community. Employers look for people who exude vitality and optimism. In order to foster an environment where new ideas flourish and progress is made, they are looking for someone who can inspire those around them to be creative, optimistic, and hardworking. Sixth, always act humble and truthfully. Nobody likes to collaborate with others. Constant vigilance is required on their part. That is the very definition of a hazardous workplace, which is why this skill set is among the most essential in the world. Workplace comfort and ease are essential despite the fact that the office is not the same as being at home. Managers need confidence in their staff in order to delegate day-to-day operations without fear of jeopardizing the company's reputation or financial stability. One who, at the very least, can be honest when they are unable to do something, allowing for alternative plans to be made in advance. This is a natural extension of being humble. And before I go any further, let me be clear that I do not mean that you should be bashful about your professional accomplishments, quite the contrary. In addition to words, the most valued workers prove their worth through the caliber of their work. Despite their apparent lack of confidence, they are able to outwit and outplay their more brash counterparts. 7. Pay close attention to detail. It's essential if you want to keep up a high standard of quality in everything you produce. The constant that comes with work that isn't done well is something no manager wants to deal with. Knowing how to dot the I's and cross the T's, so to speak, is an attribute that managers notice fairly quickly. This is because no worker likes to be told to redo work that they have already spent time and energy on. Be employable as tip number 8. You should stand out, especially in the eyes of customers, without coming across as flashy. Even though the workplace is not a runway show, an employee who takes pride in his or her appearance is more likely to give clients and customers a positive impression of the company. Be a good teammate. Number 9. It's crucial to be self-directed in one's work, but having this skill is a must. As an employee, you may occasionally be assigned to a project that requires you to collaborate closely with coworkers. Your thoughts will not be the only ones considered. They will be questioned and possibly even expelled. I'm curious as to how you deal with that. If you're being critical, how do you respond? Have the ability to work together effectively? To succeed, you'll want to have excellent people skills, a high tolerance level, and boundless energy. The qualities of a good team player are adaptability, loyalty to both personal and team goals, problem-solving expertise, and, most importantly, friendliness and respect for one's coworkers. Number 10. Independence also includes the ability to diffuse tense situations before they escalate. It makes sense that this will be the next exchange. The ability to work independently is equally as crucial as the ability to collaborate effectively with others. It is irrelevant where you go. Having the skill to complete tasks on your own will always be in demand. Trust in one's own ability to complete a task independently is prized above all else, even in organizations where nearly all work is done in teams. Since you're self-employed, you need to be able to give your full attention to each task at hand. Superior control over one's time, ingenuity, and, above all, the ability to act as one's own judge and jury. The ability to critically examine one's own work, identify errors, and rectify them is essential. You'll end up saving precious minutes for yourself and your superior. The 11th hour leadership. So what's the next best deal we can make? Your superiors will definitely take note of. Your manager needs a team player who can step up when others are falling short. Anyone would want a leader on their team if that leader could keep the group focused and working toward their goal. A leader is the type of person who encourages and supports the growth of their team members, creating a snowball effect of improved performance. Managers want employees who will give their all to make the company's vision a reality, and leaders are those who can confidently assess their team's strengths and weaknesses, offer constructive feedback, and instill a sense of purpose in their colleagues. If your leadership skills are top-notch, you should expect a promotion. To put it bluntly, companies are hesitant to let go of this type of individual to your boss. You represent the sum total of every valuable skill a good worker possesses. 12. Proficiency in speaking and listening to others. You're not a little kid. Knowing how to communicate clearly and concisely will set you apart from the competition in every field. This requires talking to other employees and managers who deal with clients. Strong interpersonal skills are the only way to guarantee that these iterations will be fruitful and constructive. Therefore, if you want to be an effective communicator, you need to master the art of active listening, which requires you to not only hear what is being said but also comprehend it and respond appropriately. Keep in mind that if you don't open your mouth, you won't get fed. 13. Know your own mind. Can you identify your best and worst qualities? Is it easy for you to ask for help or criticism when you need it? Being mindful of one's own thoughts and feelings is what it's all about. This affords you the opportunity to consider the professional skills you've developed and the ways in which they might be enhanced. Emotional intelligence, the ability to grow from criticism, and a firm grasp on one's place in the workplace are all essential components of self-awareness. Number 14. Disciplined and reliable is trait. Reliability is an important quality to develop early in life, and this profession can help mitigate the weaknesses of its employees. Work well without supervision, knowing not to make personal phone calls, avoiding constant engagement on social media, and refraining from consistent texting are all products of discipline, integrity, honesty, and work ethic. These are especially important if you lack experience, so that you can give the impression that you know what you're doing because you've done it before. When you show that you're willing to go above and beyond, it always reflects well on the company. Possess a positive outlook on life, as that is tip number 15. Despite possessing these qualities, it is possible for an employee to lack a positive demeanor. In any case, a smile alone might not be enough, but when combined with the other qualities, it certainly helps. It's possible that you'd be a well-rounded employee. Possessing a positive outlook is aided by traits like optimism and adaptability. Excellent teamwork abilities are also crucial, but they can be hard to acquire. If you aren't open to others' input, learn to speak up without stepping on the toes of your coworkers. This does not mean you have to be a pushover. The viewing is appreciated. If you made it this far, I'd appreciate it if you'd give this video a thumbs up, and if you liked what you saw and want to see more, please subscribe. Every other day, we upload a video that is packed with useful information. To conclude, I want to thank you for your time and wish you a wonderful day.